welcome. For those of you that don't know me, my name is April Cox. I am the creator of Self-Publishing Made Simple. And today we're meeting with my current author work group with a very special guest speaker, Lawrence O'Brien, who is the founder of Books Go Social. He is one of my go-to people when it comes to book marketing, all things advertising, and one of the very few that I recommend to other authors who need help with performing Amazon ads and so much more. And today we're going to learn all about book marketing. Without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Lawrence O'Brien. Thank you so much, Lawrence, for being here today.
That's wonderful, April. Thank you very much, and always for your support. I am, first of all, an author. I was published by HarperCollins 10 years ago. I spent years and years trying to get published and was eventually published. The change in your life that can happen as an author, it changed my life completely. I also published, self-published after that, a lot of books. I'm not going to go into all the details, but I also founded a book marketing company because my personal expertise, I was a sales director in a software as a service company and rose, as the people in sales usually do, to management and director level, selling software and things like that, and got a degree in marketing. So I was always interested in putting the two pieces together, proper professional marketing with books and with the whole idea of your dreams coming true. So that's my personal background. I've also founded the International Dublin Writers Festival, which will be this September, and will be in our 8th year this September. So I'm just going to play this short video for you. It really is a new age for us as authors. We benefit from a whole series of things that technology have given us. Lower cost of production. It used to be 10,000, 20,000 more. Publishers would invest huge sum of money in all aspects of publishing, the editing, the covers, other things. Those costs have come dramatically down. We are now able to produce books at a relatively affordable cost. We have better support now as well because of online and technology. We have sites and groups and Twitter, which can all help us. For each of you in your genre, if it's a children's book, there are many groups on Facebook. We have one, but there's April's group, wonderful group as well, providing support. So there's lots of technology supporting us, answering our questions. We now have much lower cost of promotion. We don't have to pay for ads in the New York Times. We can get ads on a whole range of different, including Amazon, through email, on Facebook, on TikTok if we want. We also have more respect from our peers and from publishers. It's not just vanity publishing anymore, because there are at least 1,000 people self-publishing or assisted self-publishing who are making over $100,000 a year. And that's something which has to be respected. And there are self-published authors doing even better than that. So the world has changed considerably. There's a lot of opportunities now when you're launching your book. The North American books market will continue to grow, is expected to continue to grow right up to 2028. It's a massive market and a real opportunity that you're launching your book into or that you have your book in. So the key challenges for launching your book or for relaunching your book or promoting your book are, number one, the quality of the work. Unfortunately, or fortunately, in marketing, it starts with the product. I don't know if you did any marketing in college, but we had the traditional 4 Ps, product, place, price, promotion. But those are the cornerstones, the 4 Ps. And the product itself comes first. If you're trying to sell anything or market anything, you have to get the product right. You can't add on a layer of promotion on top of something that isn't right. So this aspect of the quality of the work when we're thinking about marketing in a professional sense, we have to think about the product. It's not just about promotion. It's got to be about the product. We start with the product, and that's got to be something in our experience that is presented very well, but actually has good content inside it. That's why it's really important, extremely important, that you have proofreading, you have some sort of developmental edit. So somebody has looked at the interior of your document, of your file, and made sure that it's structured well. Then there's the proofreading, which is the grammar and spelling and punctuation. We have an author who was doing promotion with us, and we advised strongly to have proofreading done, and they resisted and said no. And after putting their book up on Amazon, they got 3 quite strong negative reviews talking about how the idea was good, but they were put off by the number of spelling in the book, which is almost certainly a death knell for the sales of that book. 3 bad reviews. Unfortunately, the author has come back to us, but it's really difficult to rescue a book with 3 bad reviews. So please invest in making sure that your proofreading, your grammar, your punctuation and spelling are all good. When we see people wasting money trying to promote books without a quality start, without a quality product, it almost makes me want to cry at the thought of the money being wasted. So please make sure that you get a good quality product ready before we start the promotion. I put in the whole notion of fast release in there because that's something that the whole market has been moving towards, which is, can you get 2 or 3 books in a sequence, in a series, to be launched one after the other? In some cases, this will help. If you've got a young adult series, for instance, you're working on, and you think that you'll have book 1, 2, and 3 that you can line up, there are a lot of reasons you should think about fast release. And one of them is return on investment from your advertising. Think about it this way. If you spend $100 on advertising and you get $100 worth of royalties back on one book, imagine 3 times that if the people who bought that one book had 2 other books to then go on and read within the next month or 2. So that's how a series, if you have got a potential for a series, to think about putting the 3 of them together or 2 of them together. And some people in the genres you're writing in will have a number of books and will have series. And this is how it gets much easier for them to make a return on their investment if they have a series of books. So if you're thinking about the holiday market, and we're thinking about that now, which is the big market for book selling, which is between September and December each year, that's where huge number, a very high percentage, does fluctuate depending on genre, but certainly in the children's market, a very high percentage. And a lot of it's gift buying, people buying gifts. So when you're thinking, how can I reach 5, 6, 7, 8, 10-year-old child? Typically, you're not reaching those people. You're targeting the adults, the brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, parents of those children who are buying books. Those are the people we're targeting with our ads, who are going to be buying a lot of books in that holiday market. So if you have a potential for bringing out a series, please do that. So that's a big question, fast release or not. We've seen people with just one book do extremely well. But if you have the potential for a series, then think about bringing them out perhaps a month apart, so that you have, within a few months, they have 3 books or more available to them. And especially from this marketing standpoint of being able to market a whole series and getting the potential of double or triple the return on your ad spend. So that's something very important to think about. There's also the quality of your Amazon presentation. We've seen books where people put the text description into one paragraph, which I don't know if you know anything about user experience. It is different online to reading something in a magazine or in a book. you have to think about the experience of the person who is reading it online. If you're forced to move your eyes again and again in a short period of space, your eyes can get tired and you can actually click away. So please think about the presentation of your text. That means short paragraphs. It means making sure there are no spelling, punctuation, all those types of mistakes, and making sure, of course, that you have a great cover and an appropriate price that are appropriate for your competition. The quality of marketing and promotion is essential as well. Quality of marketing, of course, is consistent and patient, that you don't expect everything to happen in the first few weeks, that you understand that marketing typically is a testing process where you're willing to put some money down, see what happens, and then make adjustments and try again. The classic marketing strategy is to test things, to see how the sales go with that, and then to make some changes. So what type of changes could you make if you spent a couple of $100s? You could change the text description. You could try and make it more appealing, to appeal to people's emotions, or to appeal to logic, or to appeal because of your authenticity. All the things that Aristotle talked about in persuasion, the powers of persuasion, you could think about those aspects of the text. Does the text persuade? Is your price right? How about the number of reader reviews you have? Do you have enough reader reviews? So there are lots of things you can improve in the quality of your presentation and the quality of your persuasion. Advertising and promotion solutions are available, but you should think about them in terms of testing. Yes, you're going to be willing to spend a couple of $100 testing what happens, and you're going to learn from that and then make changes and spend more money until you find the right formula, the right series of ads, or the right presentation that works. And we've had people who've changed their covers a number of times, who've changed their descriptions a number of times, where we think, look, we spent $100 and 200 people went to your book page and no one bought. So we've got to analyze the book page again and think, what's putting people off? Is your print price too high? Let's compare it with the competition. Is your text wrong? Does it not appeal? Is it not positive? There are lots of things we can look at in terms of its presentation. And that's what marketing people do. They look at how the product is presented and see if we can improve it. The first option in terms of advertising is Facebook. Now, I know the Facebook situation is changing rapidly from last year to this year, and they're under a lot of competition, but I'm still going to put it in here because it's a very big and fast spender. One of the problems with Amazon, they're slow to place your book on the Amazon sponsored products list. The important thing with Facebook ads is to get it right with how you're presenting your book and how you're presenting your ads. Are you targeting it correctly? Are you using the boosting feature? We definitely don't recommend using the boosting feature. And the problem with post boosting is that you lose about half the clicks, about 50% of the clicks, because when people click on the boosted post, it opens the post up. Where if you're doing it through the ads manager system on Facebook, it goes to where you want them to go to, which is typically to Amazon. So you lose people in that process, because for every extra click that it takes to go to Amazon, you will lose a percentage. Please be careful of that boosting. We definitely don't recommend that. Go to the Facebook Ads Manager, and hopefully you're familiar with that already. There are groups on Facebook which will allow you to put in your own book and to promote your own book there. We have a group, a readers group on Facebook, Books Go Social Readers Group, and it's free. Anyone can post their book into that Books Go Social Readers Group, no charge. You don't have to give your email address. And we've had people say they've got 2, 3, 4 sales from doing that. There are a variety of other Facebook groups where you can post your book. I don't see it as a long-term solution because of the amount of time involved. And there's quite a lot of groups which don't allow you to do that and will dump you out of the group if you keep doing it. And as a long-term solution, it's not going to generate a huge amount of sales. Yes, you could get a few extra sales from finding groups, but we haven't seen people getting a long-term, daily, weekly, monthly, continuous stream of income from doing that. What we do is the latest A/B testing tactics. So A/B testing is a way of doing ads on Facebook, but also in other places as well. The idea is that you create one ad with picture one, and you call that the A ad, which has an image for your book. You then create a second ad, which has a different picture. So the only difference between the two ads is the picture. Everything else is the same. The text, the headline, everything else is the same. These are two options, the A and the B option. And then you run both ads and you see which gets either the lowest cost per click, or if you're able to track the sales, the greatest number of sales. So then you know that option A or option B succeeded in getting the lowest cost per click or the most sales. And then you can dump the other option and you're left with option A. So that's an A/B test where you see which ad got the most sales. And that's the process you can do over and over months of work, where you can change headlines, where you can change things within the image. For instance, if you have a price, you can put the price on the image in one test and no price on another test. And you can change the text, you can change the headlines. And some people go through a whole series of these tests. That's a way of testing how your Facebook ads get results. We're also using dynamic content, which is the idea of changing your content to suit the individual customer. Facebook can do that. They now have AI systems inside Facebook who will adjust your text. You put in a series of text and Facebook will decide which text to show people. So that's one of the improvements Facebook have made in the Facebook ads program. So it's not suitable for everyone, Facebook ads, but we do recommend testing it and doing A/B test to see if it'll work effectively for your book. It does require patience and diligence. It's not something where you just say, I'm going to put in $200 and if I don't make a profit, that's it, I'm finished with Facebook ads. You have to consider that the first or two tests you have done may not be the most effective ways of promoting your book on Facebook. You may have not selected the correct target audience. You may not have selected the correct age group or gender or demographics or interests. So we recommend people are patient with Facebook ads. And I understand there's this desire, I've spent $200, I want to get an immediate return. Why didn't I get a profit from my Facebook ads? First step is, are you doing them correctly? Have you looked at A/B testing? Have you looked at the images and headlines and text and targets and age groups and demographics? Have you looked at all of those things? And do you know you're getting all those right from your ad spend? So that's the way we look at Facebook ads. Here's an example of a Facebook ad for one of our clients. One of the things you will notice, hopefully, is that it's got 10,000 or more likes. And this is called social proof. That social proof is hugely important. And this is one of the reasons why once we get a good ad, we keep it going. This particular ad and this particular customer is running this same ad for well over a year now. They have the 10,000 likes, they have 955 comments and 2,500 shares. And the comments are, the majority of them, as the one you see there from Janet, which is, I love the book. And so these are genuine comments. When you're dealing with hundreds of comments, it's impossible. You couldn't fake this. The actual book is genuinely a good book. We tested a number of A/B tests. We came up with this one as the final test with this image. We tested a number of images. People like this, and the text above is a quote from a review. So this is an example of how a Facebook ad looks like and the importance of social proof. This customer pays constantly because they're making a profit on their Facebook ads. This is like a dashboard. I know looking at some of this stuff at the beginning is interesting. Some of the important things it's showing us are on the top right, the colored sections. The cost per click. Cost per click is the way advertising has been done for over 20 years now, since Google invented the idea of not paying when your ad is seen, but paying when somebody clicks your ad. And typically when they click an ad, they get taken to your Amazon book page. We don't recommend sending people to a website because most people will not buy from a website because they don't know who you are. People are afraid of scams. They're afraid of not getting what they paid for. They're afraid of giving their credit card, the whole range of reasons they're not going to give you their credit card. But there are hundreds of millions of people in the United States who have Amazon accounts, who has their credit card already, and it only takes one click for them to buy your book. So most people, it's going straight to Amazon. So the cost per click in this case was 16.2 cents, 16.2 cents cost per click as an average. And this was between December and January. Some people, we've got it down to 8 cents per click, and some people are spending 25 cents per click. The important thing is, are you making a profit at 25 cents a click? Are you making a profit at 8 cents per click? You may be paying only 8 or 10 cents per click, but not getting orders. So when you're paying for each click to get someone to go to your Amazon page, this is why we're putting the emphasis on making sure the page looks right, because you're paying people to go to that page to look at the book. Unfortunately, with Amazon, no matter how many times we change the genres and categories and get them right, Amazon is not going to show your book to people. Very occasionally, once a year, show your book, but typically your book is not going to be seen. In this case, the ad got 76,000 impressions and spent $443. The problem with Facebook ads is we don't know from that $443, we don't know directly what was the sales result from that spend. So that is one of the challenges and one of the reasons why it's much better if you have direct access to your royalties. If your book is on your KDP account, you can see on a daily basis what your royalties are, and you can then verify what your spend is getting in terms of royalties, not just sales. So that's what a Facebook ads, that's the dashboard which we look at when we are managing the Facebook ads. This is an Instagram ad for the same client. Just gives you an idea of the number of, this has 736 likes, which again has good social proof. That really supports the advertising program for this client's book. This is the type of Instagram data we get, and you'll see the cost per click there was 19 cents. This was an $84 spend. And you can see the number of clicks per impressions was pretty good in this case on Instagram. We've created over 20,000 Amazon ads for authors, and we analyzed the data. One of the really interesting things for me, I know this sounds crazy, is actually going in every 2 weeks and looking at the different ad types and seeing which ones are doing better than others. So the classic ad types are automatic ads, or where Amazon decides where they will place your ad. We also have product targeting ads, where you can put in the ASINs, that's the ID numbers of other books, and have Amazon place your ad on the middle of a book page on other people's books. That's a great targeting option, because that means you can select a series of books which are related to or close to your book, and you can have your book placed in the middle of their book page, depending on how much you bid. So that's a product targeting ad using ASINs.
You can also have keyword ads. The whole keyword advertising system has changed, has evolved. It used to be that people would recommend that you put in hundreds or even 1,000 keywords in the hope that the long tail of keywords would mean that you would eventually get some sales. What we found is that when we put in hundreds of keywords for an author, the keywords that get most of the sales are a very small number. The ones that get the sales are a small number of the obvious keywords for your book. We call them golden keywords. We now jump straight to putting in those small numbers of keywords. And you may find, if you've been doing Amazon ads, you've been putting in hundreds of keywords, you may find that can be one of the issues which is causing a problem. We've in fact refined that even further to, in some cases, we put in one keyword. So if we find a keyword that is working consistently, that it shows 10 sales, 20 sales, we can then put in that just one keyword, raise the bid, and try and dominate that keyword on Amazon.com. So that's something we're doing, some of the innovations we're doing on Amazon ads. If you want to learn about Amazon ads, we have a free 4-hour training course. It's an introduction, and we're not going to try and sell you anything. We're interested in helping people. So a 4-hour training course. All you got to do is email admin@booksgosocial.com and say, where's my free training? Amazon ads also requires patience and diligence, not only after setting up the ads, but at all stages, patience and diligence to keep it going right. I hope everybody's seen that, and I hope the audio is improved. So here's some of the types of data you can get out of Amazon ads. This shows sales. One of the interesting things about Amazon ads is we can actually see the sales data. Now, this isn't royalties, which can be a little bit confusing. So you may only be getting 70% of this sales figure on the left there. You may be getting 70% of that, but you may also be getting extra because in some cases, on some dashboards, it doesn't show the KENP page reads if you're in KDP Select. And also, it doesn't show the sales if you've got an Ingram Spark book. So it can get confusing, but at least it gives us an indication that this book is doing reasonably well. We have impressions. Impressions is the number of times an ad is seen. We have the cost per click, the CPC, which is really important in advertising. The average cost of sales, in this case, that's a percentage, which is the spend related to the sales. That's the ACOS figure. This author is pretty happy with the spend related to sales. So that gives you an idea of the type of visual data you're going to get on the Amazon ads dashboard. This is where most ads appear. I know they're pushing their video ads now, and we've tried a variety of video ads. The problem is consistency with video ads. If you've got a great video, and I know some of these have done well, we find it difficult to get the quality, to get that quality across a variety of different ads. So we're just hesitant about video ads when we're dealing with a large number of clients. If you have a beautiful video that April has created for you, then that can do well, but just be careful of video ads. And there are some other positions on the page as well where you can place ads, but these are the ones that consistently do well. This is an example of good quality presentation. It's really important, particularly for children's books, that they're presented. So in these cases, this A+ content did extremely well for this author. So typically, an email marketing service will give you a good number of sales. Particularly interested in long-term is a service that can deliver sales consistently month after month. Other services you might think about are NetGalley. NetGalley is the biggest reader review service in the United States. Over 400,000 reviewers are using that service. They receive your book, either the PDF or the EPUB file, for free, and you get their email address. They're not required to give a review, but we're seeing on average 3 reader reviews, and some people get 20 reader reviews from NetGalley. So at Books Go Social, we have low-cost access. We put up over 100 titles every month. on NetGalley, and they've done particularly well for children's books, but they also can do well for other genres as well. So you can also put together an email marketing team. You can build people in your genre, and you can share your book and share their book and build up email marketing teams to build your email marketing. And you can also do what's now becoming important is a stack of promotions. A stack of promotions is where you're doing Amazon ads and Facebook ads and email promotions. So you're stacking the ads. And this can be particularly effective to get a book up the charts where you want it to do well. You get your book up the charts, and then you're looking for organic sales. Once it gets high up the charts into a top 100 category, you can start getting organic sales from being in that category. So that's a stack of ads, and that's one of the things that people are moving towards now is stacking. So this is your challenge, the launch challenge. You can do an in-store, at-home launch party. So as you can imagine, having a launch party is a wonderful thing, and you can in fact make it part of your community. You can invite friends and family and have a wonderful event. You can sell dozens or even hundreds of copies. So please consider that when you're launching something. Please consider blog posts. We help people by sharing. We have 10 Twitter accounts, over 450,000 followers. I recently signed up for a Twitter Blues service, and I like what they've been doing for authors, particularly over the last 10 years. It'll also mean that your tweets are more likely to be seen, mainly because it's a way for us as independent authors to reach consumers, to reach readers. If you can bring something to the table, something else that you can teach, something you can create videos, something you can show and tell about your book that you can put on video, please try and be positive about that and see that all of those things can attract people to your book. And in fact, you might even be able to help others with your book launch. You might be able to contribute to charity. You might be able to do something else where you're putting money into something and help others with your launch. I left this to the end because I don't know if it's going to be banned in 3 months. I know there's hearings in Congress about TikTok, and I have no idea what's going to happen. But it is currently the #1 website in the world. It's got well over 2 billion downloads. That's the app. And it's huge. Please don't pay for ads. Influencers rule there. We have a TikTok team service we've been doing for over a year. It's totally free at admin@booksgosocial.com and ask for the TikTok teams. And we give you training, free of charge training to help you if you're interested in that. Whatever you're interested in, you'll find things there. But it's really, this is one of those black and white things. You either love it or hate it. Search quickly, top right, for your interest. But if you immediately search for rock stars or golf or whatever you're interested in, you'll find that TikTok will serve you lots of that type of content. Last slide, that's me. As I said, we do a lot of free training. We have paid author promotions. You can find me at LP O'Brien or booksgosocial.com. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Lawrence. This is awesome. I see that we have a couple of questions. Pat was asking, how many keywords might you start with when you're creating an Amazon ad before you turn into like one of the more golden keyword ads?
25 to 50. That's what we're doing now. 25 to 50. We're not doing the hundreds. We're doing the most likely, the ones you get immediately when you search for your book on Amazon in the Amazon search box. Those sort of keywords. You may also get them from your previous ads that you found have done well. Right. So that we're into that category now.
And a follow-up question from Pat, what elements do you pay close attention to on the Amazon dashboard? Is it cost per click? Is it ACoS?
It's both of those. It's all of those, a combination. We're looking for sales. #1, we're looking for sales. We're trying to find a way to get sales. It's a form of digital fishing. So digital fishing is we put out 20 keywords, most likely books for 5 to 10-year-olds, middle school books, something like that. And we're looking to see, can we get some sales? We're fishing. If we get sales, we're starting to put the bids up. So it's digital fishing and we're looking for results.
Anyone else have questions?
Hi, So my question is it true that Amazon has a certain threshold of a number of reviews? If you get a certain number of reviews, they will show your book as a suggested book that you may like or something like that, outside of the ads, that if you've had maybe 50 reviews or 100 or 150, something like that.
It's sales. They'll show books with sales. They have an algorithm which favors sales. As you can imagine, they're a business. So if just having 200 reviews is not going to get your books shown, it's having hundreds of sales. The algorithm sees it's got sales, let's show it again. We might get some more sales. If your book has no sales and reviews, doesn't matter, okay? It's not going to be shown, okay? You need sales. The algorithm favors books that are selling.
Yeah, getting those books selling is the biggest issue, right? Especially when a book is stagnant for a little while. I have some authors, Lawrence, that come to me. They've tried to launch the book themselves. It's now sat for months and they're looking for help, like regenerating, activating it, getting Amazon excited about the book. Do you have any tips or tricks for what you would normally do in that situation?
It's the stack of promotions. So it's, yes, put some money down, do Amazon ads, do some faces, do it all over a week or two. Amazon ads, Facebook ads, an email promotion, dropping your book to 99 cents. You stack all of that, you spend a couple of $100, you get it up the charts. We're doing that all the time, resuscitating books. But it takes money, and people are giving us real money and spending real money to get it back in, to get it back up to under 50,000. That's the goal. Get it back up to under 50,000. Then the Amazon ads start working better because Amazon sees the book is selling. Amazon starts showing it more. But people are spending money, and that's unfortunately what it takes. You have to spend money. You can go out and look for different services, drop your ebook to 99 cents for 2 weeks, put a stack of services together and see what happens then. That's the best way to resuscitate a book.
Thank you for that. Do you also use promotional sites like Fussy Librarian, Free Booksy, and things like that? Would you consider that as another option for the stacking of promotions?
Absolutely. You want to make sure you're using one that's been around for a while, but the ones you mentioned are good. So we say, yes, stack those and similar, and absolutely, yes.
And Cheryl's asking, you mentioned something about getting under 50,000. What was that in reference to?
Ranking, that's the ranking. You know, the ranking for your book, if you're over 1 million, your Amazon ads they're not even going to show if your current bestseller ranking is over 1 million. So look at where your ranking is now. If you're over 1 million, that means it's only selling 1 book a week or 1 book a month. And Amazon doesn't even show those books.
So that's a catch-22, right? We got to get our books up selling, but we need the ads to sell. So in that situation, I know you mentioned Facebook is a really good alternative because they will start serving things up right away. Is that the approach you would take if somebody is really far down the ranking?
Yeah, absolutely. But we're really careful with Facebook ads. You got to get the presentation right. Please, please do not just start boosting your posts. Get someone to double check your presentation to make sure the book looks right, looks perfect. This is attention to detail. And it's one of the reasons why publishers take 2 years to publish a book, is because they pay attention to detail. They send a description around and it goes to a meeting, the text description, and experienced people between them can argue. I've seen instances where they've argued about the use of one single word in a text description, whether this word is more appealing than that word. So they're really focused. This is highly competitive. You've got some people who've been in this industry for decades. Get whatever help you can to make sure your presentation is done right.
Have you done anything yet with the Amazon attribution ads, which are supposed to help us, like if we're running Facebook ads or posting things in other places on social media, where we can track how it performs, how sales are attributed to those other campaigns?
Yes, we've tested that. And the problem is it's not consistently giving accurate results. There's also an issue with which version of the book. You have to develop a number of attribution tags. You've got to have one for the print edition, one for the hardback, one for the ebook. And they don't always work correctly. And we've seen cases where they haven't worked correctly. Yes, please go to your attribution tags and create one and see what happens. Our problem is working consistently over a variety of authors and giving the promise to people that it's going to work. We don't want to promise people your ads are going to be tracked correctly when we've seen this inconsistent behavior. And I hope it does get better from those. The best way we have of tracking is directly from your royalties. So we ask you, have you got your Amazon account? Are you going into your royalties estimator? Are you able to see sales yesterday, royalties yesterday for your book? We spent $50 on your Facebook ads. We can send out automated reports every week showing the daily spend from your Facebook ads. And then you can track that against your royalties. So you can say, yes, we had this. Problem is, if you're doing a stack of promotions at that time, estimating which are coming from Facebook and which are coming from other sources. But at least with Amazon, we get some indication of what they're doing. We're concerned mainly about overall profit. If you've spent $500 in a month, did you get back 600, 700, 800, 900, or 200? What did you get back? That's the main figure, is making a profit.
Right, I agree. Sue asked an interesting question. I have a number of authors that have Christmas books, and obviously over time they're stopping their ads after Christmas has come and gone and sales have dropped off. When should they be restarting their ads so that they make sure that it's ramped up in time for Christmas sales?
Mid-September, people are thinking about Christmas from September, even early September. And because Amazon ads can take 3 or 4 weeks to sort of move up to start showing. So we're looking at September for those, which isn't really that far away. So we're making plans for the holiday season already. So that's the time.
Okay. Awesome. Well, you've covered a lot of really great information here. And I saw a couple of comments about how they can reach out to you to get help through Books Go Social. So is the admin@bgs.com the right email to use to reach out and get more information and potentially schedule time with you?
Yes, admin@booksgosocial.com, or you can go to the site. We also have a free quality check as well, again, with no commitment. And most of the people who use it don't buy anything from us. And that can be accessed. You just, where's your quality check? Yeah, I heard you had a free quality check service. You can just email us, and we have a professional editor and a marketing person who look at your book on Amazon. They look even at the look inside feature and see if there's any proofreading errors, because that's a real put off for people. And they will look at your price, your text description, your cover. It's a quality check. It's a free quality check service. And most of the people who use it are very happy. They get the report. We give them a one-pager back, just telling them briefly, your cover is great, your price is wrong, whatever. It's done free. And that's, again, admin@booksgosocial.com.
Yeah. And the other thing I was going to mention too is that Books Go Social is one of my recommended folks, especially for people that come to me saying, I need help with ads. I wish I had the bandwidth to be able to help others, but having a specialist and the number of individuals that Lawrence has working for him on these things is just fantastic. You can work with them to do ads in your own account. They can do it in their account. You'll get some reporting and other features. And if you want to work with Books Go Social, you can use the coupon code April20 to get $20 off when you set things up with Books Go Social. So that's a good little lunch on me to get a little bit of extra discount. And thank you to Lawrence for that. Any final comments, Lawrence, before we let you go?
Yes, I wish everybody well. Writing is a wonderful path, to be honest. It's an amazing journey, and the whole writing experience, creativity, is so beautiful to see so many people writing, creating things. And that the joy of creativity is a wonderful thing. If we can support you, we want to do that. So please, hopefully you can share what you're doing with many people in your community, and hopefully we can help you in the future